Good Sunday afternoon, folks. Today's A deals with early signs of Alzheimer's showing up before early signs showing up before symptoms appear. Okay, so we're going to discuss that this afternoon for A. Please join me in today's discussion A. Here we go. The page you're viewing is a short video segment from The Healthy Soul that underscores 4 early warning signs suggesting your brain may be vulnerable long before Alzheimer's symptoms become obvious. The central message is that Alzheimer's disease begins developing silently 20 or 30 years before memory loss, meaning that subtle everyday changes can carry real significance. The surrounding content frames these signs not as dramatic breakdowns, but as small, persistent shifts in cognition and behavior that reflect underlying stress in brain networks. Based on the content and how similar educational pieces present risk indicators, the 4 warning signs emphasized are subtle memory lapses. These are everyday slips, losing track of where you placed your keys, asking the same question twice, or struggling to recall familiar names, while easy to dismiss as normal aging. Repeated lapses can reflect early changes in the hippocampus, the brain's memory hub, decades before diagnosis. Language of word finding difficulties, pausing mid-sentence, substituting vague placeholders, that thing, or suggesting to retrieve common words can be an early marker of stress in language circuits. Researchers increasingly view these speech patterns as sensitive indicators of cognitive strain, aligning with broader studies on communication as a window into brain health. Declines in problem solving or executive function. One second, guys. Gonna scoot back. Okay. Got my notes. difficulty managing finances, planning tasks, or juggling multiple responsibilities may signal disruption in frontal lobe networks. These changes often precede memory loss and can be particularly noticeable in complex everyday activities that require organization and judgment. Sleep disturbances or chronic fatigue. Sleep is not just rest, it's when the brain clears waste products like amyloid, a protein linked to Alzheimer's, fragmented sleep, insomnia, or chronic fatigue can impair this cleansing process. Making sleep disruption one of the earliest modifiable risk signals. Why these signals matter or signs matter. The page emphasizes that Alzheimer's pathology begins decades before symptoms. So, recognizing these early shifts is crucial. Doing so allows individuals to seek medical evaluation to rule out treatable causes or confirm risk factors. Address modifiable risks such as vascular health, diet, exercise, and stress. Build protective habits like improving sleep hygiene, cognitive stimulation, and social engagement long before decline becomes visible. This framing reflects a broader shift in Alzheimer's research, moving from late stage diagnosis toward early detection and prevention, empowering people to act while interventions can still make a difference. Its message that resonates with your focus on myth busting and caregiver education, helping communities understand that what looks like normal aging may actually be an early call to action. Would you like me to expand on this into a script style segment for your podcast, weaving both scientific context and practical coping strategies? The headline on your page: Alzheimer's starts decades before you realize. 4 warning signs your brain is in trouble is essentially a distilled summary of the article's core message that Alzheimer's disease begins silently many years before obvious memory loss, and that certain subtle everyday changes may signal early stress in the brain's memory, judgment, attention, and mood systems. Drawing directly from the surrounding page content, here's what the headline is pointing to, what the headline means in context. The article explains that Alzheimer's pathology can become or can begin 20, 20 to 30 years before symptoms. So the earliest clues aren't dramatic. They show up as gradual shifts in how you think, feel, and make decisions. Dr. Daniel Amen, the clinician quoted in the piece, frames these as red flags that your brain may be under strain long before a diagnosis. The four warning signs described on the page. 1. Worsening memory compared to 10 years ago. The article emphasizes that occasional forgetfulness is normal, but consistent difficulty recalling recent events, conversations, or important details may reflect early changes in the hippocampus, the brain's memory center, and one of the first regions affected in Alzheimer's. Poor judgment or impulsivity. Damage to the frontal lobe can lead to risky decisions, trouble managing finances, or difficulty solving everyday problems. The article describes this as the brain going offline, signaling early disruption in executive function. Three, short attention span. People may find it harder to focus long enough to complete tasks that used to be easy. The article distinguishes this from long ADHD. It's about new or accelerating uh, distractibility, which can be an early cognitive change. Low mood or emotional changes. Up to half of people with Alzheimer's experience depressive symptoms early on. The article notes that irritability, anxiety, mood swings, or reduced emotional control can, give me 1 second, folks, appear because the disease affects brain regions involved in regulating emotions. Why the article frames these as your brain in trouble. The surrounding content stresses that these signals aren't proof of Alzheimer's. Many conditions can cause them, but they shouldn't be dismissed as just aging. They're signals that the brain may be under stress and that it's worth paying attention to. Modifiable risks like sleep, vascular health, weight, and energy levels. Okay, guys, that's A for you. I will be back on with B shortly. Give me a little bit for that, please, and I'll be back on with that for you. For now, Gator Wellness, take care, folks.